So we're looking at renting before you buy as a tip to be familiar with a new area. So it's not uncommon that you've grown up in a certain area, you've fled the nest from mum and dad, or you've gone and rented somewhere with a friend, but now it's time to buy, and looking at your budget and what that affords you might be in an area that you've never lived in before. So one of the biggest tips would be renting in the area you intend to purchase in before committing to a purchase. And this largely comes off the back of 2020 and 2021, when so many people made a sea change to an area that they maybe visited for a weekend at best. And interestingly enough, I think this is a trend to keep an eye out for, very much a side note here, but I suspect that there will be people who haven't adapted to those areas as well as they thought they would because they were not informed or they hadn't lived there before. And we start seeing them flock back from the regions into the city. So renting before you buy in an area is crucial because you've got a well-rounded opinion of the area. Also, Facebook groups of areas are really good. I often stalk community Facebook groups to get intel on, what's happening in certain streets of a suburb. But really, ultimately, if you could afford to rent even a 6-month lease just to get a feel while you're looking, I think that would be a real advantage to you in making a very informed decision of your new suburb.
You've got to make sure there's good coffee shops nearby.
Totally. Number one priority.
There you go.
It's actually a really good tip there, Emily.
It is.
I would say, because we obviously encourage that as well. If you're renting and you're thinking about moving to a new suburb, and sometimes buyers think they're going to perfectly time their lease finishing with their home purchase and their settlement date, and it's all just going to miraculously happen. The reality is, what I would probably suggest is break your lease, move to that area ASAP. And when you're looking at this property, just be living in that area and rent something out and go through the move, because I'd rather move to a rental and then move back to the city to another rental than move there and buy a property and then have to sell a property. And so if you're already in that position where you're looking in areas where you're not live and you can break your lease, take the cost on, get in there and start renting. Because it's you don't want to move to the area and then have to sell. Stamp duty, selling costs, it might not work very well, etc.